So let's talk a bit about public cloud. You know, there's a really interesting shift that we see happening relative to the use of public cloud, where what started off as a lot of lift and shift application movement, where applications are moving from private data center into the cloud roughly as is. They're just changing locations. That's giving way to a lot more applications that are being designed to take advantage of more of the unique capabilities in the public cloud itself, and in particular, platform as a service components, where an application are more of these sort of hybrid designs, which is really great in terms of how these applications work and the functionality they can provide, but it does introduce a number of additional complexities relative to how you safely enable this to happen. Now, unfortunately, you're faced with basically three pretty bad choices for how you secure your applications in the public cloud. First, you can use cloud native services, where here you definitely get the benefit of sort of the frictionless side of things, but you're not going to get the level of security you need, and they're single cloud. And so you're not going to be able to secure across multiple clouds, which pretty much everybody has. Second, you can try to use these point products that are built for the cloud. Here the challenge is you get a bunch of point products and you're going to have to stitch it all together. You're going to have to do the system integration to make sure they all work. And you have to do that both within one cloud as well as across clouds. And ultimately, in many cases, you don't even have the security capabilities you really need for advanced attacks. Or third, you can take your legacy security products and try to shift them and move them up to the cloud. Here the big problem is it's not frictionless whatsoever. And you're probably going to lose all the benefits of moving to the cloud by introducing all of the friction of the legacy security products. So the Palo Alto Networks approach is very different to this. We can combine real advanced application and threat security. We can do that consistently across clouds, and we can do it in a frictionless way. And so we take that approach and that concept, and we deliver it in three main components for securing the public cloud. Inline security with our VM series, API-based security with Aperture, and host-based security with Traps. Let's talk about inline security in public cloud environments. If you get this right, this is really important, because this is where you're going to get full application level visibility and your advanced security capabilities applied to all traffic going in and out of the public cloud. Now, in order to get this right, obviously you have to start off with really great security, and ideally as natively integrated as possible so you're not stuck trying to stitch together a whole bunch of point products. Like that's the starting point. But in addition to that, it needs to be frictionless. It needs to enable the dynamic, auto-scaling nature of the public cloud. And at Palo Alto Networks, in addition to building the VM series with all of our security capabilities found in the rest of our security platform, we spent about 6 years now designing and adding and implementing capabilities into the VM series that allow it to frictionlessly integrate into the public cloud infrastructure. And today we're announcing even more capabilities to expand in this area. First, we're expanding our long-standing integration with AWS to be even better, to be more frictionless, easier to auto-scale, easier to integrate into the environment. Second, we're expanding our integration with Azure to support the security center to make it even easier to deploy VM series into Azure environments. And third, we're announcing support for Google Cloud, bringing all the same security benefits of the VM series to Google Cloud deployments. And across all of these cloud environments, we're going to make it even easier to deploy VM series in a frictionless way with support for Terraform and Ansible, not only allowing automation within a single cloud environment, but enhancing the ability to provide automation cross-cloud. And Panorama, the central management solution for all of our next-gen firewalls, including the VM series, will soon be able to be deployed in the public cloud itself, bringing management and the workloads it's managing and supporting together in the cloud. The design of applications of the public cloud has evolved over the years to incorporate a lot more use of PaaS components in the overall application itself. And so as this has happened, how you secure these applications also needs to change. Because these PaaS services, you're not going to see the inline traffic, but they do expose a very rich set of APIs that can be leveraged for both visibility as well as security. Now, it turns out that we at Palo Alto Networks, from a technology perspective, already had this in a service called Aperture that was focused on securing SaaS applications via the APIs that they use. And so several months ago, we took a look at expanding Aperture's focus to also include security for platform services. And we launched the first support of storage services last fall. And we've had a lot of success with our customers in helping to get better security and visibility over how these storage services were being used. And this was a huge issue because many of these services were misconfigured and wide open with sensitive data. And you've probably even seen a lot of the security breach announcements that have had to take place because of this. So we've really been able to take this Aperture service and make it a core component of securing public cloud applications, and specifically the PaaS components. And today, we're announcing a number of very important extensions to Aperture to better support public cloud applications. First, we're adding the ability to discover and monitor resources within the public cloud, both PaaS resources as well as infrastructure as a service resources, to get better visibility into who's using them, how are they using them, how are they configured, how are they potentially misconfigured, and providing visibility to help make sure that they can be remediated when there is issues. Second, we're announcing compliance reporting for Aperture as well, making it a lot easier for you to get the reporting and visibility you need to make sure you have everything checked off from a security perspective. And third, we're announcing that Aperture will now support all three major clouds. So let's talk about host-based protections. The host plays a very important role in providing security in the public cloud because there are certain protections that can only be performed on the host itself, making this a very important component of our security platform as well. Now, if you think about the applications that you're deploying in the public cloud, many of them use a lot of different components. In many cases, some of those components are open source as well. And the overall security exposure to this is actually really high. Now, what's often used to provide host security for these applications is really focused on one thing: how to make it as lightweight and frictionless as possible. That's a good thing, but it's really important to have the best security as well. And just like we've seen on host, in the physical enterprise infrastructure, it's really important that there's a new approach to security on the host. And that's why Palo Alto Networks has Traps. Provides a whole different level of security, advanced security capabilities than what we've seen in legacy products, while at the same time providing a frictionless, lightweight capability to make sure that you're not paying for a whole bunch of compute in the cloud to protect it. Now, some of these unique security capabilities include the dynamic analysis that we can do through integration with Wildfire, exploit-based protections based on the technique being used, not just signatures that apply to specific known attacks. And this really provides, the combination of this really provides advanced security capabilities for these hosts.